Our next apprenticeship podcast is focusing on employers and the engineering industry. So I'm really happy to welcome people from DHL and from Kone who are going to share both the employer and apprentice perspective of apprenticeships with us today. So if I can just ask you to one by one introduce yourselves, please.
Yeah, of course. I'm Brina, I'm from Kone and I'm a talent acquisition specialist there.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Josh Cotton and I'm a lift installation engineer apprentice at Kone.
Okay, welcome.
I'm John, I'm engineering manager for DHL at Heathrow.
Okay.
I'm Jack, I'm a maintenance and operations engineer at DHL.
Okay.
I'm Usman and I'm a maintenance engineer at DHL as well.
Okay, so you're both on current apprenticeships?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
as are you, Josh, an apprentice. Okay, excellent. So actually, can I start with you, Josh?
Yeah.
So you, this time last year, you were studying for your GCSEs, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just finished your mock exams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were thinking ahead to your exams in the summer.
Yeah.
What made you at that point kind of think, oh, actually, I could go to college or I might like to do an apprenticeship? What kind of like led you to applying for apprenticeships?
Yeah, so I really wanted the experience instead of the theory-based work of college and sixth forms and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I thought that that was more valuable to employers.
yeah.
So I really wanted to get that experience and get into the industry as soon as possible.
Okay, excellent. And when did you start applying for apprenticeships then?
I was looking at the start of year 11 in September
Were
for
you?
anything that was available, and I just kept looking for anything that came up.
Okay. And did you also apply to college as well as a backup plan?
Yeah, so I had a college and a sixth form place
Right.
available. yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like you were quite organised.
Yeah, I tried to keep my options as open as I could. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Josh. Jack, what's your kind of apprenticeship story then?
So this is actually my second apprenticeship.
Okay.
So similar to Josh, I had another apprenticeship when I was 16 that I started.
Okay.
I went to school, I finished school 2022.
Right.
And again, similar to Josh, I started applying for apprenticeships throughout year 11.
Yeah.
A lot of them wanted me to start before I'd actually sat my GCSEs, which I
Right.
couldn't have actually done.
No.
And then I eventually managed to come across a more IT-based apprenticeship, which I started in 2022.
Yeah.
After that, I started working. It was in data analytics, data engineering, so
Yeah.
more like spreadsheets, office-based kind of work.
Yeah.
Eventually, I did a couple temporary roles after that, so just regular, normal office jobs.
Yeah.
Until I decided I wanted to transition into something more hands-on role. So
Okay.
I started applying for things like engineering, welding, sort of things like that.
Okay.
Until I stumbled upon the DHL maintenance engineering role.
Okay. Excellent. So is this a level 3 apprenticeship that
Yes,
you're doing?
so it's level 3, so it's equivalent to 1A level.
Right. Okay. Perfect. And Usman, what about yourself?
So for me, I left, I did my GCSEs
Yeah.
and then after that I started working. But then
Okay.
after that I was thinking, like, why don't I go for an apprenticeship where I'll actually be like working and learning at the same time?
Yes.
So then I started applying for like a few apprenticeships and I finally got into one.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about sort of like how many apprenticeships you may have had to apply for to actually secure one, because they're quite competitive, aren't they? So Josh, like how many, can you remember roughly how many you applied for?
I applied for more than I can count.
Okay.
Whenever I saw one that I liked the look of, I would just apply because I
Yeah.
thought the worst they can say is no. And I just
Okay.
wanted to have as many opportunities as possible.
Okay. So that's a really good attitude. You just kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Until you got one.
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And what about you guys? What did you find that it was quite a long process?
Definitely, I would say, because I've probably applied for, I can't count how many I've applied for either. I had several, I'm quite open to what I do for work. So when I was at school, I could really feel I could kind of lend my hand to anything. So
Yeah.
I was kind of applying for all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
And so even when you have your options that open where you're applying for everything like I was, it is still quite difficult to actually land one.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, for me as well. So I did apply for a few.
Yeah.
And I did do like a lot of interviews, got a lot of rejections,
Did you?
but then I luckily got into DHL.
Yeah. So you have to be quite resilient in this process, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to like, it's a bit of quite a hard lesson when you're quite young at 16, 17, isn't it? To
Yeah.
sort of like pick yourself back up and keep going. Yeah. I guess at this point it's gonna be quite nice to bring the employers into this. So from a sort of like a business perspective, how important are apprentices to your business? And maybe tell us a little bit about what the business does.
Yeah, no problem. So, I mean, apprentices are very, very, very important to Kone. They make a massive difference. One, it's an opportunity for anyone to get into the lift and escalator industry, which is what we do. But also, it's shaping that future. It's having new insight, new eyes. Your learning skills on the job and developing at Kone, which is what we focus on the most, is that development piece. So we have apprentices that started with us at Kone that today are regional directors, that have been with us for years. So some massive inspirational stories that we have. But it just shows the growth at Kone. It's something that's quite amazing. And it all starts from the apprenticeship scheme.
Right, okay. So you've got examples then of people like Josh who may have come into the business at 16 and then 30 years later, they're now...
So I believe like Josh's manager's manager was an apprenticeship, and he's our regional director for installations. So
wow, okay. So that's really nice to know that like going in at a level 3 apprenticeship can actually help you progress to sort of like, you know, really great sort of like responsibilities and management levels.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so it's not always about the degree apprenticeship, is it? It's about getting your foot in the door.
Yeah, there's getting your foot in the door. There's so many different avenues to go through. It's not just tied down to lifts and escalators. You've got the design team, you've got the head office, you've got so many different angles that you can go to. So it's about finding that right career path for you, and it's a great opening door for anyone.
And so if we sort of like, if you say like lifts and escalators, it may not necessarily be like an industry that a young person would think about, but actually they're everywhere, aren't they? I mean, we've got lifts here, we've got, you know, like, so actually it's like a product that is in demand, isn't it? And so we talk about jobs of the future. So it's about giving young people the opportunity to learn skills that are always going to be in demand.
Exactly, It's big high focus on urban living at the moment. So yeah, it's something that's it's never really going to go. It's quite a niche skill to have. You're going to see lifts and escalators everywhere, and look at every single name on every escalator you go for the rest of your life. That just comes with the job.
Oh, so you literally look.
I'm on holiday and I'm like, oh, that's a Kone lift. So.
I'll do that now. And we often talk about, and in fact, Jack, you spoke about it. You know, you were doing more of a IT sort of role. And then you thought, actually, I feel like I want to be doing a more practical role. So we often talk about that, and we have learners here at Logic who like, you know, get a bit fidgety in the classroom. It's like, you know, they don't necessarily want to be sitting down all day. So an engineering apprenticeship actually provides that opportunity to be more practical. Can you give me give the students a bit of an idea of what that means in practice, the difference to sitting behind a computer to what you do now?
So when I was doing the more office-based work, it is generally all day you're at your desk. You can move around. Sometimes a lot of it was working from home as well. So my original apprenticeship, it was a startup company, so we didn't actually have an office. 5 days a week I was at home. And then when you go on to do more jobs, is work. So you work from home and you go into the office. Usually you have mandated days where you have to go into the office. So definitely one big difference would be that you get a lot of work that you can do on your computer at work. Obviously, you can also do that at home. Similar to probably shut down during COVID here, a lot of it transferred over. When you're doing your more practical work, you have to be in. So you can't like, oh, I'm feeling a bit sick, let me stay at home and do my work from home. You have to come in and you have to show up and do everything. As well as the more, what maybe I didn't think about that much before I started. I was aware that it would happen, but it's going to take it's going to take more a toll on your body per se, but you have to change what you're doing outside of work. So when you work in that office environment, you're sitting down all day, and then you can go home and you can do as much exercise as you want.
Right.
Sometimes we have days at work where I've done so much walking around, so much like screwing things in, lifting, carrying stuff around. I got to cut my exercise that I do in half, or I got to go for a shorter walk or a shorter run.
Okay,
So
that's
you
really
kind of
interesting.
think about that as well.
Yeah, so it is actually like you're on your feet, you're getting your 10,000 steps a day, maybe.
Well, you do have days because we're in maintenance.
Yeah.
So the idea is when stuff breaks, we're there to fix it, and we're also there to prevent things from breaking.
Okay.
But ultimately, the people who control the machines and who are more on the business side of it, they would prefer it when we are just sitting down doing nothing, because that means nothing's broken.
Oh, okay.
And that means everything can run.
So that
I'm not happy with people sitting down doing nothing.
No, right.
There's always something to do.
He's our engineering manager. I'm talking the more the operations and sort of control and those kind of people.
Yeah.
They would prefer the machines weren't switched off and we're working on they want to keep running it. So you do have those days where, especially when you're an apprentice, you do have those days where they're quiet and you can get on with we do a lot of coursework assignments when we don't have much on.
Yeah.
There's some times where there's something that you need to do but you can't go to it because it's running. So you do have those moments where we are on our computers.
Yeah. But
it's balanced off with some days you're going to come in and you're going to be working the whole day.
Yeah.
Some days you're coming in where you're break working, it's turned off, working again.
Yeah. And John, to bring you in here, so you are the engineering manager at DHL at Heathrow. Yes. So can you explain a little bit about what these guys do within your element of the business?
Everybody knows DHL is a global organisation.
Yes.
Every country has a network of service centres and hubs, as we call them. The packages will come from your local courier pickup. We'll go to a hub. We'll go to a service centre. The service centre, say you're sending it to a relative in another country, it'll come into us. It gets all the airport checks, X-rays, the cameras. It gets checked for drugs, everything before it can go. It's going on the back of a plane. We're a bonded warehouse, so everything is security. We've got a team of X-ray guys, so just like you're going through the airport on your holiday, that's us. That's what we do on a day-to-day basis. All the air cans, as we call them, those big aluminium containers you see, they get filled up with people's packages, put on the back of a plane, and off they go to be distributed. There's an awful lot of equipment that does all of that. So packages come in one side of the building, they get distributed, sent around the building, the data, the barcodes read everything, and then they end up in the right place to go to the right truck, to go to the next stage. So all of those conveyors, or the belts, the cameras, X-rays, all of that sort of stuff is the stuff that we look after.
Right, and that's what these guys are learning.
That's what these guys are learning to get to. So slowly, obviously it's the first year for them. They'll start doing their basic skills. But they're already involved with planned maintenance programs, and the guys that they're working with are giving them more free rein to do the stuff on their own. So they're not having their hands held all the time.
And
so
a bit of independence then.
Bit of independence. Well, it's trust.
Yes.
It's confidence.
Yeah. And so, like, you're all kind of like going in this like engineering apprenticeship space. So, what skills do you think, Josh? Do you think that you've got that make you a good engineer?
I think it's about thinking on the spot, being able to think of solutions quickly and efficiently that are going to work and solve a problem. You need to be able to solve problems really well.
Problems.
And constantly with safety in mind, of course.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. So problem solving skills are good. We talk about that quite a bit. Usman, what would you say? What skills do you think that you bring to that role?
I feel like as it's operations, so mainly everything has to be within like a set period of time.
Yeah.
So with that, it comes as like, as you said, so solving it within this amount of time to make sure that none of the operations stop and like the operation is still going on whilst you're trying to fix something.
Yeah.
So it's mostly problem solving in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Communicating with the engineers you're working with.
Yeah.
And most of them are older than you as well. So it's just that, like getting to know them, talking to them, asking them questions on how to do something. So it's mostly confidence.
Yeah. And how do you find that? Because like, you know, at 16 and coming out of school and like being quite young, going into the workplace and having that confidence, did you feel confident when you first started your apprenticeship, or did you have to kind of take yourself out of your comfort zone?
No, I'm not even confident at this moment as well. So
well, you're doing very well.
You still have to like build up to it, and you have to like just talk to someone. So especially whilst you're on the job, you have to actually communicate. So you can't really just sit there and because we're still learning. So we're still with people. We're still getting to know everything. So it's just mainly like just talking to everyone and getting to know them.
Yeah. Okay. And Jack, what about you? What kind of skills do you think that you've got and that you're really developing?
I'd say with a lot of the engineers at work, that they're full engineers. They've been doing it for years and years. A lot of what kind of impresses me about them is they remember everything.
Right.
So they'll have experienced something maybe years ago and they'll be, oh, I know what this is how it works. Or they'll pick up like a random piece of kit and they'll say, this is what this does, and no one else would have known what it does.
Yeah.
So I'd say what I'm good at that can help me get to sort of that level of what I want to do is I'm quite good at acquiring knowledge and like bringing past experiences, bringing it all together.
Okay.
So obviously we've only been doing it 6 months, but we're already sort of seeing, oh, we've seen this happen. We work with 2 different shifts as well. So we got A shift and B shift. So we work with 2 different teams. There's some things that we've done with the first shift and then we tell it to the other shift. And then it's sort of sharing that knowledge and sharing those experiences, bringing it together. That's really how you start to become good at your job. Because you understand how everything starts working. You understand when things go wrong, this is how you solve it because you've done it before. So I'd say just building knowledge, bringing it all together and just applying it to what you're doing.
Yeah. And Rena, like when you are recruiting young people into the business, as a business, what are you looking for? Because they're not going to come in as skilled engineers, are they, when they're 16? So what kind of qualities would you look for in a year 11 student that's studying for their GCSEs at the moment? What would make them stand out?
Yeah, I think mostly for an apprenticeship scheme, we've got some guidelines around the GCSEs and having certain grades, but I think ultimately it really comes down to that can-do attitude, that willingness to try something, that interest in getting into the engineering world. Already we find like majority of our apprentices, they've either already, tried little jobs out here and there, whether that's even within the house or within family or could be like electrical stuff. And already got that interest to say, well, this is something I want to try to see if it's the right thing. But I think it's that willingness. I think if you're determined, the apprenticeship scheme is for you and you could really, really grow your career at Kone. So I would suppose attitude would probably be my number one point. Yeah,
you often hear that. What about you, John? What would you say? What would you look for?
I would say the same. It's attitude and aptitude.
Okay.
Having an inquiring mind, I think, is, how does it work? That's the big thing, because if you're faced with problems, you've got to be able to drill down and isolate what the actual problem is. That may involve stripping things down, rebuilding them. So having an aptitude for that sort of thing is key, really.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as sort of technical, educational, you want, you're going to be dealing with a lot of technical information. So good English, maths, sometimes you're going to need to do calculations and work things out. So you need that, and a science as well is good. So to have a broad range, reasonable grades in that area is a good start.
Yeah.
It will put you at the front of the queue. The better you can do there, because as you won't know, but when you go on in life, you'll find that you'll apply and apply and apply. Unless you really stand out, you'll just get moved on, and people will just look for the next person.
Yeah.
So it's important, with grades, but having a good attitude and having a bit of a drive is really good to stand out.
Yeah. And I guess it's like, even like you sort of spoke about some things that you might do at home a little bit, but like, did you boys ever, like, I don't know, like mend your bikes or like help at home or like,
Did a little bit, not to the extent where I was thinking I'm going to do this forever.
Yeah.
So my dad's quite into DIY.
Right. Yeah.
So my dad works in IT, but he likes to do stuff around the house. So I did things like laying floorboards, things like that. It's not stuff I do at work.
No.
But it's still that practical. You're measuring things, you're cutting things, you're doing stuff that will help you in lots of different roles.
Yeah.
So if you want to be an apprentice carpenter, my cousin did that.
Yeah.
If you want to do that kind of stuff, it does help if you've been doing stuff beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Josh? What do you do in like your spare time, or was there anything that made you think like, I'd be good at a practical job?
Not much in my spare time, really. The closest I got to it was building IKEA furniture.
Well, that's tricky.
So, yeah.
Very tricky.
So I didn't really get much experience, and I think that's what's pushed me to do it, so that I can get that experience doing it, because I was interested in it.
Yeah. And how do you feel your confidence has developed even in this quite short time?
I think it's really grown. I think that doing the apprenticeship and even applying for the apprenticeship has forced me to grow my confidence, and for me to develop that confidence and people skills and all of that stuff.
Yeah, well, you're very confident, like all of you are sitting here today. It's great. And I guess like for me, like following the apprenticeship route at 16 or 17 and that, it does require you to be quite brave in a way, doesn't it? Because most young people at 16 will carry on to college or to sixth form. So you are sort of slightly breaking the mould a little bit and following your own path. Did that ever worry you at all, or like what your friends were doing?
Not really, because I managed to get the sixth form and college places there as a backup.
Yeah.
I always had something to fall back on. So even though they weren't my ideal, I knew that I had something there just in case.
Yeah.
So I could take the independence to have lots of different options and always have that safe option available, something to fall back on.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah. And what about you guys? Did many of your friends go down the apprenticeship route, or?
So a few of my friends have apprenticeships now.
Yeah.
So being obviously the school in Feltham, I live in Staines.
Yeah.
Heathrow's a big employer.
Yeah.
So a lot of my friends are apprentice electricians.
Right.
Some of them, I think, do the same thing as me. So manual handling equipment, conveyors at Heathrow as well.
Right.
I think I've got a couple of friends who do it in the armed forces. So armed forces will offer apprenticeships as well.
Yeah.
So things like engineering, welding, electricians. As for when we left school, because I was always committed to immediately after school, I want to get an apprenticeship. I never wanted to do college sixth form. I had a place like we mentioned, but I always was committed to doing more working based roles.
Yeah.
So kind of a lot of my friends preferred to go down that route as well. So they wanted to do college, sixth form. Yeah. But I was always, I want to get a job straight away.
Yeah. So you kind of stuck to your path, didn't you? Which I really admire in all of you. And what about you, Usman?
So no, most of my mates were really working. So
right, okay.
So I was the only one that literally got an apprenticeship out of most of my friends. So some of them did go to like uni and did carry on with education, but none of them really did an apprenticeship.
Right, okay. Yeah. And what would you say to like the young people sitting here and listening to this? What advice would you give them, Josh, if they're thinking about going down the apprenticeship pathway?
I'd say take any opportunity you can and just apply for as much as possible, because the worst answer you can get is no, and then you just move on with it and try something different.
Okay, lovely, I love that.
I'd say probably think about what you want to do. So with me, and that's obviously high level and low level sort of things. So with me, I always thought it'd be really easy to get jobs if you've got all this experience behind you. So I always in interviews when I go apply for a new job and I'm trying to get it, I'm always spending the whole interview talking about what I did at my old role.
Right. Okay.
I never speak about this is what I know and this is what I've learned about already. I always talk about what I've done. So if you want to do that sort of university, college, sixth form kind of thing, because you think you can spin that into your next thing you're going to do in life through your job, then go for that.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you want to get that more experience based, you want to get skills, you want to have a portfolio of this is what I've done.
Yeah.
These are all the companies I've worked for. This is all the people I've worked with.
Yeah.
Go for the apprenticeship role. Like, as we've all mentioned, they're difficult to get.
Yeah.
So just keep trying to get them. If you know what you want to do, keep going for it. I used to apply for apprenticeships. I woke up in the morning. I used to just literally look up apprenticeships and apply for every single one.
Wow.
So if you know what you want to do, go for it, and always think to yourself, how is this going to lead me to the next destination? Because you're never going to be doing the same thing forever.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Ismail, have you got any advice?
Just do like something that you enjoy. So like, don't look at like the money or something. Just do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Because I like actually motivate you and you actually want to do the job. So,
yeah. Excellent. And John, what would you say is like sort of like the future, like if you think about engineers in general and like jobs of the future, as a young person, like good career pathway to enter into?
Yeah, I think if that's what drives you, what interests you, as Usman's just said, there's nothing better than doing a job that you really, really enjoy. You know, it makes life. It gives you that get up in the morning, that sort of thing. As for the sort of engineering, there's a lot of changes going on in the world at the moment. Maybe for the good, maybe for not. You know, not for good. But at the end of the day, things break and they need fixing. So there's always going to be a market for engineers, and especially at the moment, it's a very, very short supply of engineers.
Yeah, that's a really good point, isn't it? Things break and things need fixing.
Yes.
It's quite simple, isn't it? Really,
and it's not just the field that we're in.
No.
Plumbers, carpenters, builders, they're all needed. But it's tradesmen. Yeah. Tradesmen is what the world is crying out for at the moment.
It's the practical skills,
practical.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You can't fix everything from a computer screen, unfortunately.
Yeah, love that. And Rena, actually at Kone at the moment, you're actively recruiting for new cohort of apprentices to start sort of in September time. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Our apprenticeship scheme is open at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's through various locations throughout the UK.
Right, okay. And so do you have more sort of like local jobs around here? So, I mean, I know we've got students who are looking to sort of secure apprenticeships.
Yeah, I think our most local positions to this school right here would be Heathrow, because we do operate the lifts and escalators through Heathrow Airport.
All of them?
Yes, we do. Yes, Heathrow is one of our contracts.
That's a lot of lifts and escalators, isn't it?
Yep. And we also have an office in Heathrow, so we have many apprentices for that area.
And are these like business sort of apprenticeships as well, or not? Are they all very practical?
Most of them, I would say, are practical. You do have the odd few in the design team. We don't have the design ones available this year, but majority would be in the engineering world. But there's so many different avenues to go through once you get your foot in the door. I would say that. But also we have vacancies in the City of London as well, which isn't going to be too far to travel to either. We've got some, majority of our buildings are the London skyscrapers, so very pretty stuff.
Oh wow.
But yeah, we do. There's multiple locations throughout West London and the City of London.
So the students could get in touch with you maybe? Or...
100%.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sort of shining a light on engineering apprenticeships. I think it's been like really valuable, and gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing your story so eloquently and kind of like, I think really inspiring to hear, like, you know, taking that sort of like leap of faith really to go down that route. Yeah, thank you so much. That's been really interesting.